The City of Waukegan is replacing about 20,000 water meters with a new automated meter which provide for an accurate, timely, and reliable reading without having to gain access to customers' properties. The new meters, which will be replaced at no cost to the customers, will be able to identify high water usage and potential leaks. In addition, customers will be able to access their water usage and account information conveniently online. The first thing you need to do is schedule an appointment with Professional Meters, Inc. to have your old meter replaced with a new automated meter reader, AMR for short. Look for a postcard in the mail with the call information or call 866-270-9629. PMI will arrive at your scheduled time to install your meter. They will arrive on a truck or a van with a PMI logo. The PMI installer will have on a shirt or a jacket with a PMI logo and will carry a PMI ID badge. Installers will also wear booties over their work boots to ensure they do not carry dirt, mud, or water into your home or business. The installation process should take less than 30 minutes. The installer will take a photo of the old meter to obtain a record of your final meter reading and the condition of the pipes and fittings. The next step is to turn off your shut-off valves located on your water meter line near the meter. Remove the old meter and install the new AMR meter. The transmitter, which transmits your water usage data to the city, will be placed on a convenient location near the meter. The installer will take a photo of the new meter once it's installed. And that's it. The PMI installer will make sure everything is cleaned up, collect his tools, and head on to the next installation. You may receive a follow-up visit from a PMI manager to ensure your satisfaction with the installation and to make a quality control check of the meter installation. For more information about the automated meter reading installation program, please visit www.waukeganil.gov. If you have any questions regarding the meter installation, contact PMI at 866-270-9629 or the City of Waukegan City Collector at 847-599-2997.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Waukegan City Council meeting, January 19th, 2016. Roll call, please, Madam Clerk.
Alderman Valco. Alderman Taylor.
Present.
Alderman Cunningham.
Present.
Alderman Seeger.
Present.
Alderman Moiseo. Alderman Villalobos.
Present.
Alderman Newsome.
Present.
Alderman Tempest.
Present.
Alderman May.
Please stand for the invocation and pledge of allegiance. Bishop Colburn, please.
Let us pray. Father, we thank you again for another city council meeting. We thank you for all your blessings. Tonight we remember the legacy of our own Dr. Martin Luther King that said these words, it's better to love than to hate. We remember it tonight. We remember the sick tonight, Alderman Evans and Alderman Copeland. Bless our mayor, bless this council and all of our citizens. In the name of the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. Amen. Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Last Wednesday, I had the opportunity to tour a Waukegan company named Cornfields. It's located on Sunset and Delaney Road. They are the home of G.H. Creeder's popcorn and their vision of delicious snack made right here in Waukegan and shipped worldwide. They employ 450 people from our community. They run 3 shifts, 7 days a week to keep up with the demand. They also are a contract company and supply major retailers nationwide in their own boutique labeled brands. The past weekend we passed out sample bags of this product at the Urban Edge. I think we passed out 500 bags of popcorn down there. Tonight we want to share some of that popcorn with our aldermen and those present at the city council meeting. Their product is verified non-GMO, and they are also certified gluten-free. Look for large bags of their complete product line in most retailers, and if you can't find them, ask your grocery store to get them in stock. We'd like you to promote as many of our businesses as possible. That's why we're asking you to ask for this product in particular. We were there, like I said, last Wednesday, and I have to tell you, I've had a lot of popcorn in my day. And like Alderman Valco was there, and he can attest to it. So what I'm saying to you is please promote Waukegan products and Waukegan businesses. David, would you please pass out that popcorn? Next is the minutes. Motion to approve the regular minutes of January 4th, 2016. Motion by Alderman Villalobos, second by Alderman Seager. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? None. Resolution, proclamations, presentation, appointments. Presentation by Waukegan Main Street.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Tonight you get a twofer. My name is Jamie O'Mara, 1318 Chestnut Street, and I am here representing, I'm the chair of the Mardi Gras fundraiser for Waukegan Main Street. So I'd like to invite you all, including our audience here and our TV audience. It's February 6th, Saturday from 6 to 10 at Bonnybrook. This is our largest fundraiser of the year. It helps to fulfill our mission of bringing more people and more businesses to downtown Waukegan and our lakefront. It's a night of wonderful New Orleans fare, music, yummy food, casino games. There's a $500 raffle, providing the City Council approves that tonight, and some really cool silent auction items. So we invite all of you to join us for what is sure to be an evening of great fun for a great cause. Thank you.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor and Alderman. This evening, I wanted just to share with you some activities and meetings that I had the opportunity so far this year to attend. So first, was working with various developing partnerships with the various not-for-profit and economic development organizations here in the community. And the objectives of these various meetings were to find the best way for organizations to utilize their resources here in the business district. We want to make sure that we're not overlapping or duplicating the businesses and the services that we're providing in the community. Also, I've had the opportunity this month to work with several of the landlords in the business district. I've been referring new and existing business owners, and that has been working out very well. And finally, January 13th, the Waukegan Business Roundtable Group met at the Genesee Theater, and there were just several things from the meeting that I wanted to share with the council this evening. First of all, the group, we've decided to develop a neighborhood watch group the first week of April for the businesses and the various residents in the downtown business district. Jan Gibson, the general manager of the Genesee, will begin as captain for the organization, and then once the organization is up and running, we'll probably select a resident in the community to be the captain for the organization or the group. Also, myself and Jan, we were able to reach out to some of the business owners, and we were able to make some progress, but in the long run, this is going to be a very long and slow process to get the landlords to work with us and kind of clean up their buildings and their properties, because we're still several, if you take a walk down Genesee Street, particularly at the northern end, you'll find that several of the storefronts still have dirty windows and they're either boarded up or it's just not a pleasing sight. Also, on the flip side, the positive thing is that some of the landlords are cooperating with us. And in fact, with Valentine's Day now approaching, they've agreed to kind of switch out their windows and storefronts and have a Valentine look to it. So we're excited about that. And then finally, the group did express a concern about the trash on the street, and I informed the group that starting in spring that Main Street will take the lead on picking up the trash and making sure that things are looking nice for our visitors and guests that will be visiting the downtown district. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Finance Committee, Alderman Valco, please. Oh, I'm sorry. A presentation by Todd Freer regarding the greenhouse project.
Honorable Alderman, Mayor Motley, thank you for letting me speak to you this evening about the Andrew Cook Magnet School Greenhouse Project. I work as the reading teacher and the greenhouse teacher at Andrew Cook Magnet School. Since taking over the greenhouse project in about 2010, we've grown our program to a pretty solid program. We teach about the relationships between soil, water, sun, pollination, seeds, and flowers, and the relationships between them, as I mentioned. But I'm always looking for a more productive way to run the program, looking into the future of where the green movement is going. Last year, through grant writing and fundraising campaigns, I purchased 5 tower gardens, which are aeroponic growing systems capable of growing about 100 plants combined with the 5 of them in about 5 to 6 weeks. I've been very successful growing leafy greens. However, I could grow pollinating requiring plants without the use of bees, which is good for schools. That would include tomatoes, peppers, beans, cauliflower, cucumber, broccoli. If I had 30 of these, that would make 600 plants. And I started thinking, after realizing that this might be a way to go, 600 plants could feed a lot of people. If the district were to get behind us and the city were to get behind us, and we had 30 here, 30 here, 30 here, pretty soon we're into the thousands of plants that could be grown. And think how many people that could feed. The Greenhouse Project of Andrew Cook Magnet School is moving in this direction. We have a greenhouse that is working. We have students that could help pilot a program like this. And as is typical of Andrew Cook Magnet School, we like to be the exemplar for the district. I asked for Honorable Alderman's and Mayor Motley's help and support in continuing a program like this. I feel that the students, the parents, and the community members all deserve something like this. We want to be the original Green Town once again, and this, I believe, is a way to do it. Thank you.
Thank you. Tom Haggerty, we had a discussion today, and it looks like we're going to put some of those here at the city, so you're going to be building some of those, so get ready. Okay, next item is committee reports. Finance Committee, Alderman Valco, please.
Thank you, Your Honor. The Finance Committee met this evening, but there are no action items on the agenda. It was just reports and communications, so there's nothing to report, sir.
Thank you, Alderman Valco. Insurance Committee, Alderman Cunningham, please.
Insurance Committee met roughly about 6:30. Motion authorized proper city official to settle police department workers' compensation claim number C 645-13 -00852-01 for an amount not to exceed $14,000, and I so move.
Motion by Alderman Cunningham, seconded by Alderman May. Roll call, please, Madam Clerk.
Alderman Valco.
Aye.
Alderman Taylor.
Aye.
Alderman Cunningham.
Aye.
Alderman Seager.
Aye.
Alderman Villalobos.
Aye.
Alderman Newsome.
Aye.
Alderman Tempest.
Aye.
Alderman May.
Public Works Committee, Alderman Newsome.
Thank you, Your Honor. Public Works Committee met this evening. 2 items on the agenda. Motion to authorize the proper city officials to adopt an ordinance for Lake County storm water management, adopting by reference the Lake County Watershed Development Ordinance adopted by Lake County on October 15th, 2015, establishing rules and regulations for floodplain and stormwater management throughout Lake County. And I so move.
Motion by Alderman Newsome, seconded by Alderman Tempest. Roll call, please, Madam Clerk.
Alderman Valco.
Aye.
Alderman Taylor.
Aye.
Alderman Cunningham.
Aye.
Alderman Seager.
Aye.
Alderman Villalobos.
Aye.
Alderman Newsome.
Aye.
Alderman Tempest.
Aye.
Alderman May.
Item B, motion to authorize the proper city officials to execute an intergovernmental agreement with IDOT for maintenance of the roadways as described in the agreement. And I so move.
Motion by Alderman Newsome, seconded by Alderman Tempest. Roll call, please, Madam Clerk.
Alderman Valco.
Aye.
Alderman Taylor.
Aye.
Alderman Cunningham.
Aye. I'm sorry.
Can I
You
add
explain
those?
that, please?
Those roadways that the city will be managing is Sheridan Road from 10th to McKinley, Grand from Green Bay to Sheridan, and Belvedere from Green Bay to Sheridan. And that's an amount, $97,790 annually. And this is a 10-year agreement. We do it every 10 years
So we get $97,000 for
for maintaining,
maintaining those roads?
yes.
Well, that's it, okay.
And then there is a escalator involved every year, is if the maintenance requirement goes up for maintaining those roads, then they'll pay a little more, or the $97,000. This is a estimate of how much they'll pay us per year.
But that was just to clean the roads, that was not for the resurfacing and all that, it was it?
I don't-
Right, Tom, that's just,
No.
right. This-
There's certain things fell out in there that we, nothing that we're doing.
Okay,
Nothing.
yeah, I remember those, I didn't know if anything changed in it.
No,
Okay,
nothing
thank you,
changed.
thank you, ma'am.
Alderman Seager. Alderman Seager.
Aye.
Alderman Villalobos.
Aye.
Alderman Newsome.
Aye.
Alderman Tempest.
Aye.
Alderman May.
And that's all, Your Honor.
Thank you, Alderman Newsome. There is no old business. There are no reports and communications. New business, item A, approval of payroll dated January 8th, 2016, in the amount of $1,436,501.97. Final payouts dated January 8th, 2016, in the amount of $28,103.17. PBLC holiday buyback dated January 8th, 2016, in the amount of $3,548.40. Retro payout dated January 8th, 2016, in the amount of $1,250.53. And comp time cash out dated January 8th, 2016, in the amount of $2,629.17. Motion by Alderman Valco, second by Alderman Cunningham. Roll call, please, Madam Clerk.
Alderman Valco.
Aye.
Alderman Taylor.
Aye.
Alderman Cunningham.
Aye.
Alderman Seager.
Aye.
Alderman Villalobos.
Aye.
Alderman Newsome.
Aye.
Alderman Tempest.
Aye.
Alderman May.
Item B, approval of bills dated January 18th, 2016, in the amount of $7,872.76. Motion by Alderman Valco, second by Alderman Cunningham. Roll call, please, Madam Clerk.
Alderman Valco.
Aye.
Alderman Taylor.
Aye.
Alderman Cunningham.
Aye.
Alderman Seager.
Aye.
Alderman Villalobos.
Aye.
Alderman Newsome.
Aye.
Alderman Tempest.
Aye.
Alderman May.
Item C, approval of raffle sales applications for the U.S. Coast Guard Auxiliary of Chicago Incorporated, David Miller Invitational Bowling League, St. Anastasia Holy Name Society, FHCC, and the Waukegan Main Street. Motion by Alderman Taylor, second by Alderman Tempest. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Item D, accept and place on file monthly treasury report for the month of December 2015.
Mayor?
Yes, sir.
If any of the aldermen want, I have copies with me if they would like a copy.
Okay, thank you, sir. A motion by Alderman Seager, second by Alderman Villalobos. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? There are no ordinances and resolutions. Audience time, Sister Kathleen Long and Julio Guzman. You got the timer?
Good evening, Mayor Motley and members of the City Council. It's good to see you here. Moving right along here in this meeting. Thank you for this time. I'm here as part of the Waukegan members of Lake County United, and I live in the 1st Ward. And so we're going to share this time here, the microphone.
Thank you. Thank you. And my name is Julio Guzman, 5th Ward. Recently on December 7th, members of our group, Clean Power Lake County, were here, and we presented 2,000 signed petitions from Waukegan residents asking that you, Mayor Motley, and members of City Council create a transition plan with various stakeholders, including NRG Energy, to craft long-term transition plan for the coal plant and evaluate clean energy opportunities for Waukegan. Tonight, we are here to bring to your attention the results of a late December survey of Waukegan voters and how they felt about our transition proposal on solar energy. The survey results were released on Thursday, January 7th, and the survey was a sample of 300 voters. An overwhelming 70% of the voters surveyed support a transition plan that includes a retirement date for the NRG coal plant, a plan to transition impacted workers, and identify reuse opportunities of the lakefront site.
Thank you. Thank you. Sister Catherine, thank you.
So we're giving Mayor Motley a copy, and members of our Waukegan team plan to contact each of you elder women and men and ask to meet with you separately to go over this survey. Some of you may have received an email in the last few days with a link to that survey. So our community is asking for change, for a healthier, clean energy Waukegan. And we want to work with you as leaders in the city, and we as leaders of the people, the citizens in the various wards. And we want to work with NRG, the current owners of the coal plant. We see each other as partners. How can we move this issue forward, especially looking at the whole program for the lakefront development? Our goal is to convene small groups with you in your wards to see what do the constituents think. How can we work together with the mayor for this transition plan as part of the lakefront development, as part of clean energy for Waukegan? We heard this great proposal here from this gentleman about growing vegetables with our children. What jumped in my mind is solar energy. Yes, energy, it works in solar energy. Maybe we can bring that into this proposal. So we're deeply concerned about the pollution, and we want to work together with you.
Thank you,
Thank you very much.
Thank you. By the way, I did talk to NRG today.
Oh, today, great.
I talked to Mark Nagle, and I talked to the corporate offices, and I'll talk to you tomorrow about it.
Okay, thanks so much. That's great.
Ralph Peterson.
Hello, everyone. I'd like to start out by saying something that I would desire to see. Mayor, just for a change, you know, it would be nice to have. I don't want to see a black mayor. I don't want to see a white mayor, nor a Hispanic mayor. For a change, I would like to see a fair, honest, just mayor. Someone that conduct themselves in the fashion of a Dr. Rudd. And what prompted me to say this is all a person has to do is crunch the numbers, you know, of the city makeup. And what they would come out with is all the jobs white people fill them. You can go over and look when they're doing business hours in the offices over there, look at your police force, all of that. And I think that that's a shame. And all of a sudden, now that it's election time, you're showing great concern. Well, I'm letting you know, the sleeping giant is awake. We're not falling for that song and dance anymore. We fell for that here in Lake County for decade upon decade. You know, during election time, you do a little certain dance and we jump all up and make foolish sounds in churches. It's not happening this time, my man, and that is the honest to goodness truth. And more than likely, you're not gonna be mayor this time. Now, you stated in the press that I was making an ass out of myself when I come up here. Well, when I read that in the press, I thought about your statement about Officer Glenowitz being a fine, great, passionate officer. I even thought about your statements when it came to former disgraced State's Attorney Waller, stating he's a fine man, a class act. I hold him in high regards. Where I come from, most would say, boy, Motley sure made an ass out of himself with those statements. Now, I'm continuously stopped when I want to show the audience, speak to the audience. As I normally ask you guys, what makes Officer Glenowitz go rogue? I'll tell you what makes that officer go rogue. When you have officers on the force, like Kokorian, who lies in public about his record, stating he's this, that, I mean, just lose all integrity. Then the mayor turns around and he promotes him to commander over the entire force. Then let's take a Detective Capaluti, a scandalous background. In fact, his unit was even disbanded for criminal behavior and criminal activity. Now, would you believe this guy is now a detective?
Sir, that's
I'll
3 minutes.
finish
Thank
next
you.
week. Thank you.
Next, Mr. Blanks.
Brother Blanks, Black Abolition Movement for the Mind. Mayor, you said you want to build better relations with your community, and I'll have you to know that moving the audience time to the list, to the bottom, it don't help you develop better relations. Let's talk about employee and employer. Taxpayers here, we're the employee, you're the employer. Let me rephrase that. We're the employers and you're the employee. And I don't know of any employee that can walk into the company, or I should say employer that will walk into a company and reprimand the employees, and because the employer, you know, the employees don't like what the employer have to say, you decide you're gonna put the employer at the last or not let him speak at all. Sir, you really need to think about that if you're considering building better relations with your community. Who is the employee here? And who is the employer? And because you may not like my approach, Mr. Peterson's approach, that still do not give you the sole right without consulting with your other, with the council about doing that. You made a sole decision to put the employers at the very bottom of the list, and I really don't think you should be doing that if you're really looking at building better relations with your community. If you're looking at building better relations with your community, you would think about what you're going to do with the officers that allegedly battered young Jonathan Garcia, because we cannot continue to have where some people or some citizens have to work within the law and you have other citizens like the police officers working outside the law. That cannot happen. Last but not least, but as we celebrate Dr. Martin Luther King's birthday and this weekend, and we're talking about equality and justice for all, and you know, a lot of times we went to the Dr. Martin Luther King celebration, but too often I hear the statement, many are called and only few are chosen. What I get out of that, there are many who call themselves to preach, but really only few are chosen to do the job. Because many of those who celebrate Dr. Martin Luther King, that's why I can't drop the whole ball in your lap. Because too often we have ministers who I've went to on many occasions to address these issues of injustice and inequality long before I come to this board. And any ministers that sit here and watch this go on and have nothing to say about it, I'll tell you right now, if they were doing the work of a Dr. Martin Luther King as they symbolically celebrate him every year, then what happened to Miss Reese wouldn't have happened. What happened to Mr. Brumfield wouldn't have happened without ministers stepping forward to say something. The injustice that continue to go on within this city while ministers sit inside his house and never say nothing, they should not even mention that man's name out of their mouth in symbolism until they're ready to do the work that this man do in the substance. So those are the problems. It's not totally yours. We have some in-house cleaning to do within our own ranks of our community with many so-called pastors who call themselves a preacher and don't have the testicle fortitude to do the job of that man.
Clyde McLemore, not here. Tom, 1425 North Avenue. Tom? I can't see last name. Yeah, it's 1425 North Avenue. Step up, please. Step to the mic.
Thank you. I just have a couple of questions. Would the city of Waukegan be willing to keep the metro station open for a couple of hours after the ticket agent leaves at 1 p.m.? And could the station be kept open on weekends? This would be a service to commuters, Waukegan citizens, and people and families going to the city on the weekend. Keeping the station open and restrooms clean would be a courtesy, a sign of civic responsibility. There could be maintenance people, police, and possibly high school students there cleaning the grounds to enhance a sense of well-being and security for all who want to take the train. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. I can ask Metra. We have no control over the station, sir.
I was told by Netra it's a city decision, not a Metra decision.
No, it's a Metra decision, sir. We've had this debate.
Well, I will check with Metra, and I will
Okay.
check back with the city.
Thank you, sir.
At least there's one voice.
Pat O'Keefe.
Hi, Your Honor, and City Council. I'm Pat O'Keefe at 303 Stewart in Waukegan, and I actually have two things that I'd like to talk about. One is snow and ice. At businesses throughout the city, and I do a lot of jogging, walking, bicycling, businesses are plowing their parking lots and dumping the snow and ice on sidewalks, which is causing people to walk in streets. And I'm talking about streets like Grand Avenue, like Lewis. People are really putting themselves at risk. I don't know if there's an ordinance that would not allow private plows that clear parking lots, putting it right in pedestrians' walkways. But if there isn't, you might want to consider the possibility, or at least using the bully pulpit to try to get businesses to not to dump it where people are trying to walk. Thank you. The other thing is a completely different topic. There's a great idea of having a lakefront festival with a concert, and I've heard it reported, this will be next year, or next summer, I guess. I've heard it reported that an entertainer who's being considered would be Ted Nugent.
He's not, no longer.
Well, I'm glad to hear that, because Mr. Nugent has made racist comments about President Obama, calling him a chimpanzee and a subhuman and the like. He's made sexist comments about female politicians. He's really not the kind of entertainer that I think.
He's not coming, sir.
Okay. Thank you
Okay,
very much.
thank you.
Appreciate it.
Margaret Crosco.
Margaret Crosco, 532 North Lewis Avenue. Today, as a minority resident in Waukegan, in the year 2016, in remembrance of the civil rights leader Martin Luther King, I stand here to say enough. Enough of hearing week after week mayor denying Ralph Peterson, an African-American man from his freedom to speak. Mayor, as you well know, this past mayoral election, I voted for you, I supported you. Because of your platform, you said, bring Waukegan together. And that's exactly what you should be doing, not dividing, not creating conflict. Based on Mr. Peterson's complaint he filed with the Attorney General's office, the response from the attorney for the city was, and I have a copy of it right here, Section 265, the Waukegan City Code is enclosed for your reference, provides that the presiding officer, which is you, after one warning, may rule an individual out of order if the individual makes personal attacks against others or makes rude or slanderous remarks. However, that same night, in fact, there was a Caucasian lady here who stood the same place as Ralph and was making and attacking verbal remarks against Alderman Larry Tempest. And you allowed her to speak, while in fact you did not allow an African-American resident in Waukegan to speak. I have a problem with that. And I believe that many other residents in Waukegan have a problem with that. If you recall correctly, the lawsuit that was filed in 2004 against the city of Waukegan, the former mayor of Waukegan, Richard Hyde, and former Waukegan Chief of Police, Bill Biang, then the mayor, Richard Hyde, refused to allow Jose Zurita Pepe to speak. That refusal, the 7th U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals ruled on December 22nd, violated Mr. Zurita's First Amendment rights, just as you are doing with Mr. Peterson. Mayor, we have an opportunity to make the city of Waukegan great. Let's not waste this opportunity on denying persons their civil rights to speak. Need I say that your presence, Mayor, was missed this weekend at both of these celebrations for Martin Luther King and the African American community. Starting tomorrow, I will start a petition for everyone to contact you. Thank you.
Margaret, my wife had her knee replaced, so I didn't go. Okay? Just so you'll know. Next is the alderman's time.
I have my name on that list.
What's your name, sir?
Rush.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, Mr. Rush, you're up.
Thank you. My name is Charles Rush. I reside at 1106 North Sheridan Road. And it's again in regards to the incident, and there are just some questions that I would like to get answered so I don't have to repeat visits here. One of them in my original story was, why did Sergeant Walker interview the suspect, Alderman Tenpass, over the phone? And then why did he provide that suspect with the name and address of a witness that filed the complaint? Is this normal procedure? Is this what they do? To the alderman here, you stated that you have police powers. I'd like to know how these were endowed, whether or not you really believe you have them. And frankly, as a senior citizen with documented anger management history, I feel that you driving around perhaps in the late evening with maybe a gun at your side would be rather dangerous. Now, there was a law, an ordinance passed regarding animal cruelty. Why was it not enforced? It was enacted by a city board here on which Alderman Tempest, you were a member. It was adopted when you were on the board. And these are questions that the press can help me out, or ask them again to the individuals. I'd just like to know. Other people have been severely punished for their actions regarding animal ordinance, and it seems that in Alderman Tempest's case that the ordinance is ignored. I don't know. My comment would be, what are friends for, I guess. Thank you.
Thank you. Alderman's time, Maria, please.
Alderman Valco.
Thank you, ma'am.
Go ahead, Mr. McLemore.
Once again, I'm here on behalf of the Lake County chapter of the Black Lives Matter movement. In the last 2 weeks, I received so many phone calls from citizens who are tired of the shenanigan which goes on here at the Waukegan City Hall. Mr. Motley, council members, after council meeting, you sit there and ignore the comments of the citizens. But you hear us when it comes to election time. Mike Waller would still be on the 911 board had it not been for Ralph Peterson exposing him. Then you want to act like his time had came, and his time had came years ago. I sat in the Mayor Advisory Council and with the Civil Service meeting, both committees you appointed. You trust them enough to appoint them, then allow them to do their job. No, you got in front seat. Then you're supposed to bring they supposed to bring their recommendations to you, accepted, and you accept it or not. You shouldn't even be at their meetings. Not only are you there, but you up front trying to tell them what to say. That's some real dictatorship. And if you had been doing what you were supposed to do as a mayor, you wouldn't need no advisory committee. You are not trying to build no relationship with the black community. What you're trying to do is bootleg votes. Black people are not dumb, and we are not begging you for nothing. We want our rights as citizens and taxpayers. You work for the city of Waukegan. This is not your own business. You move citizen comments to the end of the city council. That only shows that citizens' voices can't be heard. Their opinions don't matter. And their opinions don't matter of the agenda. So when the motion hit the floor that the aldermen or the alderwomen have to vote on, they have to vote on their conscience, not knowing what the citizens of their precincts want to do. I challenge you, aldermen and alderwomen, to speak up so you can officially do your jobs as alder people, which you've been elected to do. On another note, if Ted Nugent come to Waukegan as the chair of the Lake County chapter of Black Lives Matter movement, I will contact every chapter from California to New York. We'll have the biggest protest in Waukegan have you ever seen, and we will bust in so many black people that we'll be peaceful, but you'll think you are in Africa. Black lives do matter.
Thank you, Mr. McLemore. Alderman's time. Maria, please.
Alderman Valco.
Thank you, ma'am. I've been disappointed as of late on some of the comments and the manner that they have been presented at the podium during council. I was going through some articles last week, and I came across one that I remembered. Fight for the things you care about, but do it in a way that will lead others to join you. And that's from Supreme Court Justice Ruth Ginsburg. And that's all I have. Thank you.
Alderman Taylor. Pass. Alderman Cunningham.
First of all, I'd like to congratulate 3 organizations over the last weekend who did some outstanding an outstanding job. That is the the men of Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated, North Shore Baptist Ministers Alliance, and the Waukegan Township. I don't know if anyone had an opportunity to attend any of those Martin Luther King celebration days. I thought they were outstanding speakers, outstanding guests, but more importantly for me, it was an opportunity where people, black, white, male, Hispanic, were able to celebrate. I'm going to use the word fellowship together. It was just an awesome time for me to see old friends, new friends, and hear some good messages. And one of the reasons I think that I am in public service, it is no secret that myself and a host of others, particularly those who are African Americans and other minorities, walk in the footsteps of the MLK. But there are also individuals who were celebrated, who was walking in the spirit of Martin Luther King, and who are local. And that, to me, is where this is really hits home for Waukegan, Lake County. But those three organizations did a great job, in my opinion, to celebrate not only the meaning but the spirit of Martin Luther King and of public service. And for all of us who are in public service, whether you're for or against, don't like or dislike, we say the things that other people don't want to say. And sometimes we have to stand alone when we say that. We do that on this council. But we do it, in my opinion, the best interest, at least I can say this, for our city. Obviously, those do it for ethnic reasons, for female, for males, for blacks, for whatever the occasion may be. You do it. And yesterday, I hope you were able to attend some of those celebrations and see the real meaning why it's being done. On another note, I think Alderman Newsom have started some about celebrating birthdays over a century old. I was informed at one of those celebrations there is a young lady who attends Antioch Missionary Baptist Church, which is the church where I was baptized at, and she's 104 years of age. I'm going to be presenting a resolution to give to Pastor Conley and his members to give to his parishioner, but I was stunned when I heard that, and I was surprised. I was more surprised that my mother didn't know it, because she knows everybody. But I was surprised to hear that, and those are great stories that I think we need to share throughout Waukegan. I thank you, Alderman Newsom, but I say to everybody out there, if you know someone who was living past what some say their time, bring it to our attention. We want to celebrate the lives and learn some of the things that they did, to stay on this earth. At least I do. I don't know about you, but I know I do. Thank you.
Alderman Seeger.
No comment.
Alderman Villalobos.
A couple things. First, I had the good pleasure to attend for the first time Waukegan Township's Martin Luther King luncheon on Monday. I'd never been to the events, and much as I've learned living in Waukegan, there's a lot that goes on in this community, and sometimes it's too much for one person to know about. So once again, I was in the dark on that for a while until recent. So wonderful events. Some of the speakers that spoke had some good messaging and made me think about not just where we are in society, but where I stand in it too, and what my place is, and how we all come together and how we all tie together. So that was actually a very great event for me to go to yesterday. And I look forward to going to it in future years to come. I also wanted to make a quick comment about the audience time. Prior to being on council, I was coming to the meetings and I would see people speak during audience time and leave. And I often wondered if they ever got any correspondence with the aldermen or the mayor afterwards. For me personally, I think audience time at the end is beneficial because you're here at the end now, and we're here at the end, and we had time afterwards to discuss more face-to-face. And I think that's a benefit for us. So I don't understand why, and people have mentioned it to me, like, audience time got moved to the bottom, and I guess maybe my perspective didn't see the negativity of it. Maybe someone can express it to me better, but I just didn't understand. To me, when I found out about it, I was like, okay, this sounds good, because I want to talk to people. I want people to come and talk to us afterwards, too. I think after our meetings, there's actually when more work gets done, because now we're talking with each other. So regarding audience time, I think it's actually a better spot for us to be at. But that's just my opinion. So thank you, everyone, for your time. Appreciate it.
Alderman Newsome.
Thank you. I would like to commend Tom Haggerty and Public Works crew that was out this morning, sub-zero weather. I found out about 7:30 I had 2 water main breaks in my ward, one over on Leith and Northmore, and then over in the Berry Court subdivision. And for those guys to be out there in sub-zero weather, taking care of that, it was like a ice pond over there on those streets and slushy water and everything else. So I would like for Tom to thank the guys that were out there taking care of that. And that's when they usually break, this time of the year. So I commend them on the job that they do out there and prepared for the weather. So I pass that on to the guys that were out there this morning. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Alderman Tempest.
I pass.
Alderman May.
Thank you. First thing I want to comment on is Mr. Cobb came up to talk from Waukegan Main Street about the trash issues in downtown Waukegan. And anyone who knows me knows that I love to talk about trash. I appreciate that Waukegan Main Street wants to assist our downtown business owners in keeping the streets clean. But I just am still, after 5 years up here, cannot understand why business owners, whether you own your little space on Genesee Street or you're a renter, same thing goes for residents, whether you're a renter or an owner. If we all took care of our little plot of land that we are running our business from or living or raising our family in, what a wonderful, beautiful, clean city we would live in. If everyone could just walk out to Genesee Street or Washington or Grand or wherever, pick up the garbage in front of your storefront every day, shovel your snow. It's so simple if we all just took care of our little plot of land. If your neighbor is elderly, then you do your neighbors as well. I mean, it's so simple, and we talk about trash so much in this city. I'm just flabbergasted. So Main Street, that's great that you want to help the downtown businesses clean up their storefronts and their Genesee Street, but Genesee Street owners, business owners, come on, take some pride in your business, and how about you make your storefront look nice? Just a suggestion. Mr. Freer, it is such a pleasure to see you here tonight. He was very modest in his presentation. Up until 2009, the greenhouse at Cook Magnet School was a storage room. There's this beautiful greenhouse built in the middle of this old school, and it was a storage room. When my children went there, it was storage. I've had the opportunity to be substitute teaching at the school and participate in one of Mr. Freer's classes. Through grants from Pepsi, Trustmark, they've put a new roof on, irrigation system, ventilation system. Mr. Greer has written a science curriculum for the school called Growing Green. What a huge impact on those kids in that school to actually, we talk, the big trendy thing is farm to table. But for our kids to actually understand where your food source is, so many kids don't know. And Mr. Freer is bringing this to these kids at Cook. Now, it's no big surprise that Cook is probably one of our highest, on the school report cards, highest performing schools in the city, and also the recent 5 essential surveys, highest parent involvement in the city of Waukegan at Andrew Cook Magnet School. There is a correlation between those two things. And then innovative teachers like Mr. Freer and Miss Ahern, who go out there on their free time, donors choose, whatever kind of mechanisms they can do to find the money to bring these programs to their kids, because they're innovative, wonderful teachers. Our school system gets such a bad rap, and it makes me mad, because I see what teachers like Mr. Freer does at his school. This is a big deal. This is a huge deal for kids to see how to grow their own food, free of chemicals, how they can do it themselves. God bless you, congratulations. I hope that you are very successful with this. You let me know how we can help you, okay? Because this is fantastic. He was very modest when he came up here. The last thing I want to address is audience time. I'm a proponent of audience time at the beginning of the meeting. Not everyone wants to sit through us voting through line item, blah, 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 blah. We sometimes have young kids who come here who want to address us. I am a very big proponent of letting our citizens come first. We're here to serve them. They should talk first. And that's just my 2 cents, and that's all I have. Thank you.
Motion by Alderman Cunningham, second by Alderman Valco to adjourn. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Meeting adjourned. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
The City of Waukegan is replacing about 20,000 water meters with a new automated meter, which provide for an accurate, timely, and reliable reading without having to gain access to customers' properties. The new meters, which will be replaced at no cost to the customers, will be able to identify high water usage and potential leaks. In addition, customers will be able to access their water usage and account information conveniently online. The first thing you need to do is schedule an appointment with Professional Meters, Inc. to have your old meter replaced with a new automated meter reader, AMR for short. Look for a postcard in the mail with the call information or call 866-270-9629. PMI will arrive at your scheduled time to install your meter. They will arrive on a truck or a van with a PMI logo. The PMI installer will have on a shirt or a jacket with a PMI logo and will carry a PMI ID badge. Installers will also wear booties over their work boots to ensure they do not carry dirt, mud, or water into your home or business. The installation process should take less than 30 minutes. The installer will take a photo of the old meter to obtain a record of your final meter reading and the condition of the pipes and fittings. The next step is to turn off your shut-off valves located on your water meter line near the meter. Remove the old meter and install the new AMR meter. The transmitter, which transmits your water usage data to the city, will be placed on a convenient location near the meter. The installer will take a photo of the new meter once it's installed. And that's it. The PMI installer will make sure everything is cleaned up, collect his tools, and head on to the next installation. You may receive a follow-up visit from a PMI manager to ensure your satisfaction with the installation and to make a quality control check of the meter installation. For more information about the automated meter reading installation program, please visit www.waukeganil.gov. If you have any questions regarding the meter installation, contact PMI at 866-270-9629 or the City of Waukegan City Collector at 847-599-2997.